Welcome back to DaBoot Tragedies. We're finally here. It's been a long wait, man. After not making the playoffs last year, a long off season, a lot going on in the off season. New coach, new staff, new picks, new energy. It's almost time to put all that behind us and play some real football, some games that count. And first up, no other than the sorry Falcons. And it wouldn't be the Saints if we didn't start this season off with a couple injuries already. We know that Trevor Penny's going to be out until November at the earliest, I believe. Marshawn Lattimore was dealing with a hamstring injury in the preseason. Michael Thomas also dealing with a hamstring injury in the preseason / training camp. Paulson Adebo with a minor ankle injury. Pete Warner with a groin injury. So this season's already kind of starting off like last year where we had a lot of injuries. None of these injuries seem severe though, except the Trevor Penny injury. That's going to be one that keeps him out for a while. However, I do think at least 3 or 4 of those guys that I mentioned will be back for this Falcons game, first game of the season. And if not, I still think we can get the job done with, honestly, none of those guys. I think we're just a much better team than the Falcons at every position, man. Offensive line, quarterback, running back, receiver, D-line, linebacker, secondary, special teams, just all phases of the game. I think we're just a much better team than this Falcons team. I also forgot to mention Marcus Davenport in the injury list. He's just been injured so much that I almost just forgot. But some things I'll be looking forward to in this game, man. Watching the offense and defensive line. Offensive line, obviously, Cesar Ruiz had let's just say a bad year last year. Let's see if he bounces back in games that start to count. His preseason was okay. He made some good plays, had a couple bad plays in there, but it looked better than last year. Also, Andres Pete being injured basically all of last season. He looked good in the preseason snaps that he did play. Eric McCoy is healthy now this year. He's Ramtech. He's going to be great. And then we'll see what James Hurst has at the left tackle. He's going to be the full-time starting left tackle, and let's see what he brings to the table. On the defensive side of the ball, obviously, that defensive tackle spot is going to be very, very important to me. Obviously, we have David Onyemata at one spot, but Kentavious Street and Shai Tuttle, I think it's going to be a battle for that second spot, and we'll see who wins that battle. Let's see who plays the best. Also, at the defensive end spot, we know we have Cam Jordan on one spot, and if Marcus Davenport is healthy, he'll be on the other spot. Let's see if Cam Jordan can start the year off how he finished last year. Starting the season off last year, Cam Jordan was nowhere to be found, especially in the pass rush game. Finished the season super strong. Let's see if he can start that way this year. Marcus Davenport, who knows if he'll play? Who knows if he'll be healthy? We'll have to see on that part. Hopefully he's out there at least on a rotational basis. Peyton Turner, expecting something different from him this year. Preseason didn't show me a lot. He was one of the best players in training camp, but in the preseason games, he didn't really flash off the screen that much. Let's see what he brings to the table in his first game as well. Then we have the linebacker group. If Pete Warner's going to be healthy, we'll see. We're going to have a mobile quarterback in Marcus Mariota, so we're going to need those linebackers to be fast, to be quick. So Warner and DeMario will have to be on their A game against Marcus Mariota. Secondary, let's see how these safeties get shuffled around. Let's see how they play them, what spots they play them in. How do we use Tyron? If Paulson Adebo is going to be healthy, let's see him, man. Let's see if he can turn into that really lockdown corner that he's been looking like in these first, couple months of training camp, preseason games. We'll see what he brings to the table. And on the offensive side of the ball, obviously, Alvin Kamara, I think he's been looking the best out of anyone throughout training camp. That minimal things we saw for him in preseason, he's been looking absolutely fantastic. He looks fresh. He looks healthy. He looks fast. Everything about him is just pointing up. The sky's the limit for him this season. Also, the receiving core, if Michael Thomas would be out there. Even if not, we still have Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave, the guys that played last year. So I'm excited to see that. And last but not least, the return game. Deontay Hardy, can he have a bounce back year from last year? Because last year I do not believe he played up to his standards, up to par. And I'll be looking at the coaching staff as well. Let's see how they adjust in that first real game with Carmichael. Not Dennis Allen first real game, but first game as the head coach with the Saints. So, man, I'm just excited to see what the Saints do against the Falcons. I'll definitely have more in this game. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday, maybe Saturday. Once I get more information on these injuries and what we'll do in the game, who's out, who's in, I'll definitely relay that to y'all, and we'll talk about the game in more depth a little later. But as always, man, thank y'all for tuning in once again. This is DaBoot Tragedies, and I'm out. Also, if you made it this far, it will be a fantasy link dropping today. Be on the lookout, probably 6 p.m. Central Time. I will drop a fantasy link, and it's first come, first serve.